Okay. Okay, guys. My name is Brianna Gonzalez. I'm just going to go over my final project really quickly, the last two parts. I'll talk about the problem. It's going over the implementation of technology as an instructional tool. My problem is that teachers are not completely understanding how to use digital tools in and out of the classroom for their students, and traditional homework is also not boosting a student's learning experience versus having students use online learning tools to study materials. This module aims to educate instructors in any level, specifically elementary, on how to analyze and implement digital formative instruction to their students and outline their instruction based on data collected. And I added 2 areas this week. This one is my formative evaluation as a small group. Small group evaluation will be conducted for learners who have finished the modules, and these individuals will then be asked to complete a course survey and assessment, providing their thoughts and feedback on the module activities. Selecting learners will be randomly selected from those who completed the modules. A minimum of 8 learners, but no more than 20 learners will be selected. Learners who have completed the modules will be selected randomly, and the selection will include a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 20. Learners will be informed that their feedback is crucial for enhancing module materials. Subsequently, they will be asked to complete a course survey. The assessment and course surveys. Upon finishing the modules, learners will be asked to fill out a course survey to offer their feedback on the thoughts on the modules and how they feel it helped them. The designer will examine the feedback received from the course survey and assessments to pinpoint any areas where students might have faced difficulties in grasping the module content, and outcomes would be any identified areas for improvement based on learner feedback will be carefully reviewed. Updates to the content will be implemented as necessary. And then last one is evaluation rationale. For this course, a small group evaluation approach was chosen. Learners will start by completing a pre-assessment of their skills. Additionally, they will provide exit tickets and complete a course survey. Since learners vary in age and possess different levels of experience and knowledge, the survey will help us gauge their attitudes towards instructional materials and identify areas of weakness, along with reasons for them. Learners will be questioned about the presentation, training materials, and job aids. The collected data will be utilized to pinpoint precise areas where instructional improvements are needed and to implement those changes. This step is crucial to ensuring effectiveness of the materials. And that's what I added this week, and then just my references.
All right, perfect. And I'm going to take over the screen.
Okay.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Grace Martin, and this week then I focused more on meeting with my subject matter experts and working on my overall final project on Articulate. So my subject matter experts for project planning and project management were Dr. Elwood and Dr. Kesterson. So we were able to meet on a Zoom meeting, and we really focused on learning how to utilize AI in understanding project planning. So during the meeting, then we took the time to think of questions to ask ChatGPT, Perplexity, and we each put it into the systems, and we compared our answers to get like an overall like view of what we think that it would most benefit for project planning. Just to go over some of the things that we had looked into. The questions I had asked were over project planning and in defining major goals and objectives. Then one of the questions was, how do you ensure that project goals are aligned with organizational objectives? Mainly then it's making sure that there's a strategic plan for the college, visions and missions, and focusing on different terms. So different terms are going to have different missions and objectives for that time. And how do you involve stakeholders in the process of defining project goals and objectives? They invite stakeholders to meetings, and sometimes then they include service providers in the community to meet like during the meetings. When establishing milestones and targets, then they make sure that the milestones are achievable and realistic through the weighted scoring model, and that all milestones are aligned with current course outcomes and process steps. But one of the ways that they monitor this is that they can either use things like a monitor Scrum board or Trello. Both of these are really good for making sure that people are doing what they need to stay on track. But Trello is not AI based. If you look up different ways to track project management, then with AI, then Trello does pop up a lot, but in general, then Trello is not going to be AI based. Making sure that everyone is focused on having the resources for budgeting time. So you can do different meetings for different topics. You can use Excel sheets, Scrum boards, or correlating a 100-point checklist. So when I go over a Scrum board, then I'm using the one that Dr. Elwood had provided me, where students are able to have different objectives and they can move them into the different spots. So in progress, done, and approved. If there's any questions, they can put it in a parking lot. So this one's a little bit more manual, while Trello is more of the different items that the students go over. When looking at AI systems to accompany project planning goals and objectives, then there's a lot of things that people can use, like LinkedIn Learning. Project management is good for Trello, then it's good for delegating deadlines and many collaborators in one project. So even if it's not AI based, then you can link apps that are AI based to Trello and kind of use them hand in hand. And AI can benefit project planning overall, is like using different ideas to find out like risk outcomes, and see how like things used to be, to see how the future might line up for it. So that was pretty much the meeting that I had with Dr. Elwood and Dr. Kesterson. And by using the stuff that they had provided, then I've been able to add a little bit more to my Articulate board. So I'm just going to do a preview of the course. So overall, then my project has been doing automating excellence, AI's role in project planning, where the problem is that traditional project management methods in education fail to meet the dynamic needs of today's students. Really, my project is just going over how to teach students how to integrate AI into their project planning. Mainly my students are going to be business students or faculty and staff. It can also be used for students of like any higher education major. So just to go over my project, then students will be introduced to what project planning is, the key steps of what they're going to be going over. And it's also going to talk about the components of project planning. So major project goals and objectives, establishing milestones and targets, and then resource allocation and budgeting time. And they'll be able to watch a video over project planning for beginners, and then finding out where AI comes in. And this is just an app that I found that they could use to include AI in project planning. And then they go into what is AI in project planning, and they have some flashcards that would kind of help them with like keywords that pop out in project planning, like resource optimization. And then they'll hit continue, and then they can do a match the scenario question. So it's going to be the most suitable application of AI in project planning on the right. And then when they submit it, it will tell them which one, like which one's right, which one's wrong. And then another video over AI and project management. This one needs to be worked on a little bit more. It's just defining major goals and objectives. And I've included some of the AI softwares I want to look into that can assist with defining major goals and objectives. This one was the one that I focused on the most when after finishing up our meeting, is establishing milestones and targets. And it's really going over what the difference between a milestone is and what a target is. Because they're similar, but not always like identical. So what I found was that targets usually have like a specific outcome that can be measured. And so they just go through, and then the milestones are going to be what they want to accomplish on the way to the target. And then it goes over Trello, and it shows the Trello board that Dr. Kesterson shared with me that she's been working on with her students. And then the Scrum board again is the one that Dr. Elwood shared with me that she uses with her students. So resource allocation and budgeting. This one, then I'm going to be working on a little bit more because I'm going to be focusing more on budgeting time versus budgeting money. So finding out good AI uses to do that. And then lastly, then students will do a little summary and then a quiz over everything that they've learned. So that's what I've worked on this week. I'm going to stop sharing and then we can go into our celebrate and elevate.
Okay.
Okay. So I will start with the celebrate and elevate. So I really liked that with yours, then it's going to be a lot of taking the opinions of everyone that completes your course and then using it to like fix it like along the way.
Yeah.
And that a lot of it is like with the pre-assessment and the exit tickets, and that's going to help a lot with finding out like what they've learned.
Yeah.
And gauging their attitude is really good because it's not all reliant on like exactly what they've learned, but like how they feel about the course, since it's going to be
Yeah.
such a diverse body of like students taking the courses. So it's a really good layout.
Thank you. I like, okay, so like, what was it? The True Hero, the little dragging, like it was like parking done in task. That's really cute. And your Articulate 360 is so good. I probably need to start mine, but yours looks really good. You're basically done with it, right?
Yeah,
It looks
I'm just adding
perfect.
up the little end of it.
It looks good. I really like that. And then I was on Zoom. I got on the Zoom last week, and Elwood was saying like, like this is the first semester we're using it, and I was like, okay. But no, it looks really good. I need to, and she was showing us like how to do it, and it looks simple.
Yeah, it's really user friendly. So that's what I like about it the most is that it has so much that you can add into it and it's super user friendly.
Yeah, yours looks really good.
Thank
I like
you.
it a lot. Yes, yes. But yeah, that was good.
Perfect. Thank you. I am going to stop the recording.
Okay.